Life has been so busy. I actually forgot already Saturday the first time in my life.
That's where it is.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. This meeting has been properly advertised and posted in accordance with Public Law 75, Chapter 231, and it has been advertised in the Atlantic City Press and posted in the City Hall and website. Can we rise? Please stand for the flags. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We can just have a moment of silence for all the
Ukraine.
fighting in Ukraine, correct? Thank you. So, first thing on the agenda. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dilge. Here. Ms. Masker.
Here.
Ms. Sparks.
Here.
Mr. Lamkin.
Here.
Mayor Allen.
Here. First thing on the agenda, I'd like to call Attorney Tummon. Go ahead. On behalf of the city, I present you with this award for all your years of dedication and service and all your hard work. Thank you very much.
Want to go around for a picture?
Thank you.
Oh. She's a star here.
Okay, thanks.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Want to give you?
Okay, all right, thank you.
Did you want to say a few words?
Sure.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure working here for 25 years. I started in 1997, I started in Hamilton Township. And then I was there in August and I was asked to come here in November, just to fill in here and there. And then I made it permanently. So I spent 25 years in both Hamilton Township and Estell Manor. And I grew up here, I know a lot of you. Dane I've known since when he was a little boy. You grew up, growing, so it's been a pleasure and an honor. But my time is not done with Estell Manor, because I'm still your court administrator, but just in Central Municipal Court of Atlantic County. So I am so honored and thrilled to still be serving the area and not going anywhere fast. But thank you for all the years I've been here. And no more Wednesdays of torturing everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
I wanted to say that when I first found out that we were really going to move to court, I talked with Tony, and I have to say she was upset, obviously, because she's been here for so long, and it's just part of Estell Manor and all that, but we felt that, we saved the town money and all. So I said, Tony, I said, keep an open mind, apply for the county. I said, because things could really change for your life. I know you're down and out, but I think that you're going to do well. And lo and behold, she applied for the job, and we put a good word in for her, and she became the top county administrator for 9 courts? 9 courts. So Tony, from Estell Manor, I want to say you got your real training from here, okay? That's probably what put you over the top, okay? But congratulations to you. I've worked with Tony for years, Jim and Terry have, and Wayne, so we're gonna miss you. But come back, you gotta come back for some mail that still comes
Oh,
through here, okay?
absolutely, but I'll tell you what, I am so, I'm ecstatic to, and honored
Yes.
to be the court administrator of
It is.
this new court. We are gonna be very successful. It just, you know what, I said that when I walked in the door back in 1997, you know, I was training for the court Olympics.
Yes.
I'm there, so we're going for the gold.
Yes.
Now you're competing.
No,
Yeah, you're competing.
we're good, we're
They're
good.
competing for that gold
For
now.
that goal, that's right. It's gonna be very successful. I'm blessed with a great staff.
I know.
It was the best decision I did make.
Well, it's quite the honor.
Good for
And,
you.
Good,
and
good.
so we're very happy for you.
Yeah, so you're really not done with me, you're still stuck with me?
Look out for us now.
I will miss my Wednesday nights, you know, because, you know, we
Always
spent a lot of
welcome to
years
come back.
together.
Bring us cookies or something.
Water ice, water ice.
Oh, water ice,
Water us.
water ice,
That's right.
yes, but, you know, Estell Manor is always a part of my heart. I grew up here,
Great.
so, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna open the meeting to the public. Do I have a motion?
Motion?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, floor is open. Does anybody want to speak?
Motion to close public?
Second? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Good evening.
you're up. Engineers report.
Couple updates for council this evening. I received an email from the Atlantic County Improvement Authority today. They have their annual CDBG grant meeting scheduled for the 17th of this month. It's a Zoom meeting, 10 a.m. Our office typically attends on the city's behalf as well as Weymouth. They have a packet there. They basically go through the requirements of the grant. Generally with the city here, they only qualify for ADA grants. The latest improvement was the ADA parking, the sidewalk, the lighting. So they'll provide us with a update of the grant pool and how much money they'll project going forward. So I'll come back to the next meeting and give a summary of how much funding the city has, and look forward to applying for a project, or just essentially let that money accrue for a larger project in the future, similar to what we did out here. So, on Fifth Avenue, that project's still to be constructed. I spoke to the contractor today. He's scheduling the project to start at the beginning of April, weather permitting. So hopefully this time, meeting next month, it'll be under construction. So we've already had a pre-construction meeting. All the paperwork's lined up. We're just waiting for the weather right now to break, and then we'll get construction going on Fifth. And then on Maple, last Friday, I had a inspection walkthrough with the NJDOT. They issued an inspection report. Everything was in satisfactory condition. There were a couple items, obviously punch list items, and with the exception of line striping, that still need to be addressed. So my guess is once it's the same contractor on Fifth, once he's in town, he'll probably address that, and we'll get that project closed out while he's in here working on Fifth. And then lastly, our office completed the survey of the extension on South Jersey Avenue and 13th Street. We have the existing conditions drafted, so just looking now in the next couple of weeks to start the design. We'll send that up to the DOT, get that approved, set a bid date, and hopefully by middle of summer, we'll have that out to bid and be under construction by the end of the year. And then just for council's thinking, probably in April, we're going to receive notification from the DOT for the 2023 local aid grant application, and they're due by July 1st. So if now you want to consider next year's project, now would be a good time, just so we can get the application together and meet that July 1st deadline. So probably receive an email, typical letter each year outlining the dates and the targets. So there's a road council wants to consider, this upcoming year, now would be a good time to put together a short list, and I can obviously ride them and give a recommendation, if you wish.
All right, so good.
That's everything I had, unless there's any questions.
I don't know if it's appropriate to ask, but I know you're not our planner, but can you enlighten us on where we stand with the master plan, when we're next obligated to revise, refresh, produce, submit? Any of that?
Not that up to speed with that right now.
Okay.
I defer to your planner, on that. There may be something run by the land use board planner or engineer as
Okay.
well.
Thank you.
Ask, evaluating
Well,
that.
maybe you might know that. I didn't think it was your responsibility. Mr. Solicitor, do you have anything on the flood thing?
Yeah, I just want to make council aware, I spoke with Mike, I think yesterday, as a matter of fact. It came to our attention that we, along with many other municipalities, have to update our floodplain ordinance. So apparently the DEP sent notice to an engineer that never worked here, and we don't know who else, but certainly not to either Mike or I. So it came to our attention. We're working on it now. It's a template that you have to modify for your specific town. The goal is this. The goal is to have a draft done by the middle of next week by my office, to get it to Mike, to get it to DEP for review, and hopefully introduce it for first reading at March's workshop meeting. You were gonna check if we,
I have an update. on it.
Okay.
So, as part of this process, there's another engineering firm that's essentially overseeing this as an agent for the DEP. And I reached out to that engineer there and made him aware of our schedule, and they're gonna email us because, as I understand it, it needs 2 readings for this ordinance, and then will be the workshop. The next scheduled meeting would be the first meeting in April. The deadline is March 30th. It's 1 week after. She's going to check with the DEP. She didn't think it would be an issue, but she's gonna advise and send an email. Otherwise, the other option is to have a special meeting to adopt.
yeah, we would have to have a special meeting at in the last week of April, towards the end of March, in order to do second reading. So we're trying to avoid the inconvenience to the public. I mean, it's a pro forma type of plan, but you have to do it because it has to comply with the federal flood insurance guidelines and all that good stuff. So hopefully we can hold it until the first week in April, and then I'll report back to council. But the goal is to get the first draft done by next Tuesday or Wednesday and get it to Mike.
From what I'm told by the agent, unless the city's making changes and adding language, it's essentially a boilerplate item. You already have this in your ordinance. The state, I believe, 8 years ago, had 6 templates. They've now shrunk it down to 2, and everybody that's affected by this is required to, update their ordinance to these 2 models. And we're in the coastal model, so it was a Word document. Everything in yellow was essentially your town-specific municipality boilerplate, and then there's other sections that you can increase the thresholds. Otherwise, the thresholds are already set in terms of fine and flood elevation, so it's a fairly straightforward document, just going through the process.
So we'll get it done.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I don't anticipate any problem getting this done one way or another.
I'm sure this goes without saying, but when this is all done, we need to make sure that we have the correct contacts in place so we can avoid this next time.
It must be a DEP.
And
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
would
saying.
say that this isn't this specific to Estell Manor. This happened to another town I represent
Oh,
as
okay.
well, and they had the wrong engineering firm.
Okay.
So I can even check, and Weymouth went through it, but they have their floodplain administrator handled that. I can even check that letter to see, this wasn't Estell Manor, this happened
Okay.
across, another township.
Okay. so we're not alone.
Right.
Okay. All right, is there any other questions? All right,
Motion
thank
to
you.
accept the engineer's report? Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Mike, do you want something to take with you? That's, the plans from Slade? Bobby told me that you were gonna come and take them. I have them ready for you to table in here.
Oh, sure.
I just gotta give him something.
I'm gonna do something off the agenda. I just wanted to introduce everyone to Dr. John Lacatour. If you could stand, this gentleman is the new emergency management coordinator. So he has the huge job of undertaking our new emergency management plan. So thank you. So now we all have a face for the name.
Welcome. Thank you.
Just hold off for Joe to come back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it, trust me, I really do.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you for all the years I've been able to serve Estell Manor, and will continue to do so.
That's right,
Thank you.
just a
Thank
different
you.
building.
That's it. Thank you.
Attorney.
Everybody have a good night.
Good night.
Is there a motion for the bill list?
Motion to approve the bill list on the amount of $251,707.87.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Is there any questions or discussion?
What was the total?
$251,707.87. Oh, wait a minute, $251,227.87. Which is it?
It is $251,707.87. Those three bills that were added.
Hmm? Yeah, this is.
No questions or just, yes,
Need a second.
any, you have a date? Any discussion or questions? Roll call please.
Mr. Dilge?
Yes.
Ms. Masker?
Yes.
Ms. Sparks?
Yes.
Mr. Lampkin?
Yes.
Mayor Allen?
Yes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from February 2nd, 2022 regular meeting and February 16th, 2022 workshop meeting?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And you're gonna abstain?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Ward, do we have any correspondence?
Let's see. There is one that came in, and it's to the mayor and the council in regards to a major safety concern about unsafe road at 145 Maryland Avenue that is putting an elderly tenant of ours at high risk. So I was gonna pass this on to Jeff to take a look at it. It's from Susan and Charlie Wolf. But they sent pictures and all, so I'm gonna send this down to you. It's just like potholes and dirt on the road, so.
We're gonna give that to Mr. Corner to take care of, correct?
That's correct.
All right, Judd, on the ordinance for the second reading, for the public's benefit, do you want to go over a little bit what it was about, please?
Yes, this is an ordinance that we pass every year. It's called a CAP ordinance. right now, the state is allowing all municipalities to go up 2.5% from their appropriations in the budget. And by this ordinance, it allows us to go up an extra percent, which may give us an extra 20 to 25,000 to expend if we have to. And if we don't, then the figures go into what we call a cap bank for up to 2 years, so we can draw down on that. But really, it's just a mechanism so that we, if we have to go above the normal cap amount of 2.5%. So this is a normal thing that all towns do, and that's what it's all about.
All right,
Need to
excuse me?
just open up to the public.
Yeah, you got it, okay, for public hearing.
Yeah.
Motion to open in public for the ordinance?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any questions on the ordinance?
Motion to close the public?
Second.
All in favor?
I think you should do a roll call on that.
Yeah, well, it's all right to close the public hearing, so then we'll vote on it, and it should be live roll call. Mr. Dilge?
Yes.
Ms. Masker?
Yes.
Ms. Sparks?
Yes.
Mr. Lampkin?
Yes.
Mayor Allen?
Yes. Okay, so resolution 39/2022, Atlantic County, multi-jurisdiction pre-disaster hazardous mitigation plan.
Motion to accept, resolve, approve?
Is there a second? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any opposed? All right. Department reports. Have a motion?
Well, we have Public Works, zoning, I've seen. Do we have a fire company report?
No fire company, tax collector, or the clerk's office.
Okay, so we're doing Public Works and zoning.
Correct.
Okay.
Have a motion?
Both have been pretty busy. I have a motion to accept the Public Works and zoning officers.
Second.
Do we have any discussions, any questions?
Both of them been pretty busy,
Yes.
with pretty usual stuff, nothing extraordinary.
All right. Motion to approve?
What,
I'm sorry.
may I ask you a question of, Mr. Corner, what did we decide about the salt tank? What are we gonna do?
The brine tank?
No, yeah. So the ability to salt from the new truck, are we gonna brine, are we gonna,
Oh, the salt spreader you call it?
yes, are we gonna buy a new spreader, what are we gonna
I was told to hold off on it.
do? Okay,
The mayor told me to hold off.
Yes, because we had talked, I think I talked to you too. At this point, you got both of the salt spreaders fixed. They're not the greatest, but they're still fixed for right now. And we talked about looking into, doing brine instead, because it lasts longer.
I just thought maybe Mr. Corner had something new since.
And actually, Mr. Cornew, I thought you were gonna check with, Dorothy, Weymouth Township, to find out how they did theirs.
They're salt.
No, they're brine.
Brine,
Don't you need
I
training?
thought that was all done back in the present, past council.
What, for brining, you mean?
Larry Hughes had looked into all that. He came back to the.
Yeah, I don't have any of that information. Okay,
okay,
okay. So
We'll get
do-
on. thanks.
all right. All right, do we have any, old business?
Do we have a report from Resource, whatever they call it, I forget what they call it, Mr. Dyke? Mrs. Masker?
What?
Do we have a
Sorry.
report from Mr. Dyke, from
Well, he was
Resource?
actually, he participated in our last meeting, didn't
Yes.
he?
Yeah, but
Okay.
done.
That was that one. There's supposed to be one every month. Is it, so is it later? Okay. He's supposed to give us a progress report every month. Actually, he's supposed to make the report every month.
Okay, so we'll put that on the.
So maybe for the workshop.
Okay.
Wait, he was just at the work, right? Wasn't he on the phone
Yes.
at the workshop meeting?
Right.
But that was
Just 2 weeks ago.
February.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
This is March. Okay. Keep moving that ball down the field.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna move on to new business. So for new business, we have public works items to be addressed.
Okay, we have, may I say something about that? So we've had this, we're not just getting this tonight, we've had this for a couple of weeks. I hope
Yes.
everybody's seen it. There are 18 items. There are various and sundry different things that need facilities or property management attention within the city and its buildings and vehicles. I would suggest that I work with Mr. Cornu and kind of, so there are 18 of them, so these are also, understand that these are not 18 items that are specific to this month. This is like, we've got, it's gonna take some time to get all this done, but it's everything from a roof to work at the DMV to the toilet in the Public Works garage. How about if, between now and the April regular council meeting, Mr. Cornu and I get together and kind of agree on his favorite 6 things to do first? Does that work for you?
Sure.
Is that good for council?
Sounds good.
Okay. Otherwise, council, please stay familiar with these items, because they are all important. One is the heating unit's already in play, right? We've already got that being repaired, waiting for parts.
Good enough.
Waiting for a quote. Another
Waiting for,
quote.
Well, that guy still didn't put the second quote, still didn't come? But it's
that's
still working.
That's came today, but I didn't work today.
Okay. So you guys are brought up to speed on that. We have as we've discussed before, the heating unit in City Hall needs a core. For lack of a better way of phrasing, it needs a heat exchanger. The part is covered under warranty, but the labor is not. We have a price from our contract kind of service company for a couple $1,000s. We're waiting for a second price that may be less money than that. For labor only. We've discussed it, we were waiting, Mr. Quinn got a second price from the guy that fixed it last time.
Okay. And then, I actually have a question. The brakes on the rear brakes for the 2010 dump truck, that hasn't been done yet.
No, I got that quote
That's the quote you gave us
2
before.
months ago, but I couldn't take it because of the snowstorm.
Okay.
I had one truck to work with.
Is that ADS?
No,
Okay.
Okay. So by the next, I'm sorry, by
We'll
the
have a
April
half a
meeting?
dozen of these, yeah,
Okay.
for the workshop even,
Okay.
but certainly for April.
Yeah, because we can, if we need to, we can vote on it in the workshop to get it moving.
Okay.
Ms. Masker, do you have any question?
So I want to go back and revisit the Jeffrey Dead thing.
Okay. Let's back up and,
Well, I just want to say that he has been in touch with Randy about making sure that the $2,000 assessment does not apply to municipalities.
Yeah, what we're trying to do, if you recall, he talked about certain deadlines that were upcoming, and we're in the process of getting a reset on those deadlines for our benefit. The target is still to have this project done by year end,
Yes.
so that's where we're headed. Once the weather breaks, they'll be able to do more of the biological stuff. So we just need to get through the weather.
Thank you.
okay, so the next, item on new business is the Atlantic County Aerial Mosquito Control Assessment.